Protecting the autistic community just took a major step in the right direction. Let's welcome back our good friend Layla Luna, founder of Just Be, an organization dedicated to making the world a sensory-friendly place. Wonderful to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
A mom on a mission. We talked about this previously, and now it is reality. Congratulations on the license plate.
Thank you so much.
So much hard work went into this. So tell our viewers what this license plate represents.
This license plate, the Just Be license plate, represents a way to identify, especially for law enforcement or our first responders, that someone in the vehicle is on the spectrum, whether they're autistic or neurodivergent, and that way they can have an identifier to turn off sirens, turn off lights, approach calmly, and know what they're walking into, because autism has no facial recognition. So these first responders pretty much have seconds to decide who is this person, and with the sirens and the lights, that can trigger a sensory overload.
And it's a sensory sensitivity that people on the spectrum have, and those things come in the form, certainly loud noises, the lights. And you have set up at so many different events as well with a space to give those a sensory friendly atmosphere to get away from the crowds. Tell everybody about that.
I mean, I believe in this day and age, with autism being the fastest growing developmental diagnosis in history, and you've got 1 out of every 36 kids, 1 out of every 45 adults, it's a corporate social responsibility. I mean, if you're having a festival, or if you're a city, or if you're a business and you don't have a section dedicated to this community, you're completely out of touch, and in my opinion, you're negligent. So we create a safe space. We have our beehive that was gifted to us by the town of Mount Pleasant. And we bring the beehive to all these events so we can support this community. They can come in, and if their child or their adult is feeling overstimulated, they can come in the beehive, they can reset, and then just go back out, so that they don't have to feel that they have to sit on the sidelines and feel like the whole world's passing them by and they're not included. I mean, you can't hide a whole generation of young adults in the room on an iPad for the rest of their life.
That's right.
We deserve to be out in public, and you know, for me, Rio has 2 typical sisters, and they get left out. And many families feel that, and the pure joy of being able to go to the pumpkin patch and go to Boone Hall for the first time, or to be out at an event like Lights and Love, or just to be in the community at a restaurant and feel that they can coexist. This is the world I see.
I love that. And you're also trying to educate the population as well, and particularly our first responders. So I know training is another component of Just Be. So what work are you doing on that front?
Well, we're lucky to partner with Lens Foundation, who supports law enforcement, but we are training all the first responders. We've trained Hanahan, we're working with Mount Pleasant, we will be training Charleston Police Department, and we go in, the training is created by Dr. Diane Cullinane, a medical expert in the field. Plus, our training, I found that a lot of people will do the training, especially first responders, in April, because April's Autism Awareness Month, but you know, autism is year-round. It's not just in April. It's not just in April. And they do not such a deep dive. They'll talk about, you know, recognizing autism, but there's a dark side to autism, and we want all these first responders to know exactly what they're walking into.
So before we go, for people who are interested in ordering one of these license plates, they are now available. So how do you go about applying for one?
I think the easiest is if you just visit our website, www.justbe, like a bumblebee, the change, so justbethechange.com, and we have right on the homepage Rio's Law, and then you just click, and we got all the forms. But this is really important. We're one of the first states in the nation to do this. This is going to save lives, because time saves lives, and we just want our first responders to feel safe, and we want our families and our loved ones to know that when they are on the road or they're in an emergency situation, that they're understood.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And will this be recognized in other states as well? So if you're traveling from one state to the next?
Well, right now, that's what we're asking the public and any sponsors. We're looking for funding to create a database, because if we do go to a different state, they're just going to be like, oh, she likes bumblebees.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
So we want this to go nationwide. I believe with the rise of autism, and we know when it goes wrong. We've seen the cases. This is going to just create so much more awareness, but ultimately we have a database that we're trying to raise money, and that way the parents could actually register their kids and put whatever information they want, and that way as soon as they run the plate, they'll be able to read this information and have a better understanding of what they're walking into and how to work with that individual.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Layla.
you.
Fighting the good fight.
Yes,
We're
always.
back after this.